So nice to see all of you, some familiar faces, some new faces. My name is Tracy Livingston Howard. I am the co-founder of Liv.Lit, and I work with growth-minded, spiritually conscious, wildly ambitious entrepreneurs and leaders to achieve their vision and their purpose by growing themselves and growing from within. And I'm going to be doing my intro while I let people in the room. But I'm very excited to have you part of this class. Today is actually the first class in a 6-part series that's going to be going up until Christmas. And I'm very thrilled to be joined by Sarah Morgan, who is our guest expert today. Sarah is the founder of the High Vibration Club and is going to be imparting some wisdom for us today on beliefs and the belief releasing process, as well as walking us through an exercise. So I'll introduce you in a moment, but Sarah, if you want to say hi, that would be great.
Hi everyone, so lovely to see you all.
Awesome. So I want to set the tone and energy of the day. As many of you know, some of you know me, some of you don't, but we've been on quite a journey, I would say all of us, in the last 18 months, if not our entire lives. The last 18 months have been a whirlwind for me. Ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, which is now an endemic, started, it felt like some faraway news story. It felt like something that wasn't here. And I remember sitting in my house in Wimbledon and realizing that the world is changing. There's a lot of shifts happening, and that things, I didn't see it at the time, but that life was going to transform in so many ways that I could not have predicted. But what incredible times we're living in, wouldn't you agree? Incredible times. And I started the Liv.Aligned series really actually going back 18 months because after about 2 weeks of the pandemic, I started going out for my normal runs and my walks out in Wimbledon. I would go out for my jog and I would see that no one was outside. I legitimately was the only one out. And it made me feel a bit weird. Am I breaking the rules? Do the other people, are they rule followers? Are my beliefs true? Am I not believing the right thing? I was awakening, I was questioning everything that was going on. And as many of you might know, I've been kind of a black sheep in this entire narrative. I've just gone my own way. I've been thinking about my life and questioning, what do I need and how am I transforming? And as y'all are going to get today, I would love to leave kind of what's going on in the external world out your door, out your window. There's a lot of beliefs around fear, of energy, of blame and victimhood that's going on. And I found that I couldn't really find spaces that were trying to empower the energy of love, compassion, stepping into courage, helping people elevate into the greatest state of consciousness that I believe is the great awakening that's happening right now. And so I've done this kind of out of selfish reasons, possibly, to bring community together and help you all fulfill what you're looking to do in your purpose, in the work that you want, in your business, in your life. And I want to really empower the energy of love in everything that we're going to be doing. And so one big way of working as we jump into this class, we're going to have a bit of a podcast interview style with Sarah, and then we're going to go into an immersive exercise on releasing low stored vibrations and beliefs, which I've done on Sarah's 5-day free course, but I'm looking forward to doing this live. The one thing I would say is that don't believe everything that we say. Okay, there's the belief word. Take what works for you when you're on this class. Take what resonates, what sounds good, and leave the rest. Don't get caught up in the details, and keep seeking your own truth right now. That's what I want to impart to you all. And so I have the immense pleasure of introducing Sarah Morgan, founder of the High Vibration Club. Sarah is a Accredited practitioner. And I met her actually in London a number of years ago, and you were delivering an amazing talk that stuck with me. I actually haven't been in touch with Sarah since this time, but when I thought about the Liv.Aligned series and understanding that beliefs can be the undercurrent of everything that's happening in our life, I wanted to start our series around beliefs, and Sarah came to mind. And on your website, Sarah, you have a quote that says, "A true awakening takes courage, determination, a huge helping of self-love and commitment, but is also an unrivaled willingness to change." And today, I hope you all are open to exploring some of the changes that could happen in your life, stepping more into your power and bringing that into the work that you do. I believe we could all make a difference right now in the world, and I truly hope that you get what you need. So I'd love for you all, before I pass it over to Sarah, let's take a moment, put both feet on the floor. You have your legs crossed, both feet on the floor, and take a deep breath in and out. And I'd love for you to call your highest self into the room. How come you're here today? What do you want to receive? How come you're here today? And what do you want to receive? This is the space focused for you right now, and I'm truly honored to move into the belief process with Sarah. So Sarah, welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's so lovely to see so many gorgeous faces from around the world.
And absolutely, and I love your accent. And please, Sarah, briefly describe your journey and how you've gotten to do the work that you do today. So give us a little background on you.
Okay, I'm going to try and keep this short because I know we haven't got tons of time. So my background was working in the corporate world in PR in London. I did that for 12 years, got stressed and burnt out from it and all the rest. And then I made the decision to leave PR. I tried to leave a couple of times prior and kept going back to PR. And then I finally made the decision to properly leave. Then I had a year or so trying network marketing. Wasn't really working for me, and it was around that time I just kind of had this moment, which I didn't realize at the time was my higher self. I didn't realize any of this back in the day. I think I've got a very normal background, so I kind of try to kind of demystify what I share now. And I just remember thinking, what am I doing? The network marketing isn't working. I don't want to go back into the corporate world. What am I passionate about? And I was like, I'm passionate about the law of attraction and helping people. I'm just going to try and be a law of attraction coach. And I went with that kind of inspired action, and I launched a company at the time called Mastering the Art of Manifesting, and it just flew and I just loved it. And I was like, aha, I finally manifested the laptop lifestyle. And during that journey, I came across Liv and Raphael Kanya from Fifth Dimension Earth, which I now know is all by perfect design. And when I was coaching Mastering the Art of Manifesting, it was very much about your transitional day-to-day in the moment vibration. I had no clue about stored vibration and the fact you could store low vibration in your body. And I had something really sort of stressful happen behind the scenes, and I was just kind of pulled or attracted to Liv and Raf, although I'd been friends with them for a while. And I was just like, I don't know what it is that you do. All I know is I don't want to feel this kind of stress ever again. And I started releasing my low stored vibration, not knowing that that's the work I was going to start doing with them. And then a year and a half later, although it can be done in 4 weeks now, much faster, but when I was doing it, it took me about a year and a half to release every single bit of my low stored vibration and awaken, which are words I never thought I'd be sat here saying now. I thought to awaken, you had to be someone like Buddha or something. I mean, I just never would have imagined I'd be sat here now sharing this story, let alone supporting people going through releasing their low stored vibration awakening. And so I've been a Believe Accredited practitioner because the process where you release the low stored vibration is called the Believe releasing process. And I've been supporting people with their awakenings now for about a year and a half, and I'm really passionate about it because it's just transformed my life, and I'm seeing all the time the impact it's having on every single person I support to. And, you know, you don't need to work with me or another practitioner. You can do it on your own. This book here, the Believe book, is kind of where to start, basically. But that's kind of quick overview about where I came from and where I'm at now. So what I'm doing now is like a gazillion light years away from what I was doing when I worked in London, and I love it.
Wow. Well, thank you for saying that in a few minutes. And I want to jump right in. I've got a few questions that I really want to prime us before we jump in is, you know, my understanding of beliefs and how they impact my behavior. So I coach people, highly successful people all over the world, and I'm always listening for what's driving them, what's going on under the surface. Can you talk about the energy or vibration of fear as well as love? And let's just tease that apart for a moment, because we all have fears and things that are maybe guiding our actions and our behaviors, and talk about how come we would want to maybe vibrate higher into an energy of love and what that could give us.
Awesome. Okay. So we have our subconscious mind that stores every single memory that we've ever created. So to give you an idea, you can create 5,000 new memories subconsciously just walking forward 2 steps. So your subconscious mind is a powerhouse, and it stores every memory either as fear or as love. And the fear labeled memories are what lead to low stored vibration in your body. So actually, when you're going through the believe releasing process, you are relabeling those fear labeled truths into love labeled truths. And as you're doing that, and you do this with your higher self, which I'll show you a bit in a minute, it releases the low stored vibration. And the believe releasing process is totally leading edge. It's only, and it isn't my process, it's Liv and Raf's. Okay, so I don't get any co-mission from them. I'm literally just teaching because I'm passionate about it. It's the only process on the planet that can get you to 100% high stored vibration, because unless you've completed the process, you are, and this surprised me as a manifesting coach. When I started the process, my high stored vibration was only 37%. So I was predominantly low vibration, despite all the success that people would see on the outside. I just didn't know low stored vibration was a thing because it wasn't even documented in that way. So
well, let me pause there. You're bringing up something so interesting, because I do a lot of inner work, but I notice my judgment. I notice my resistance. For example, I notice, you know, I wrote a few beliefs that I've heard of. I believe I need permission. I believe that some people might not feel they have a choice, or let's see, what are some other beliefs that are just underpinning, you know, what's going. I just want to stay relevant to what's happening in the world, because we might believe that we don't have a choice, or believe that, you know, what things are happening to us rather than for us. There's so many beliefs that I didn't even realize I was running that would actually drain me. And pull me down, so that I wasn't in an emotional state that felt good. And then I would carry that energy into business, or I'd carry that into my marriage or with my kids. And so I think the big one here is, as people are listening, it's noticing that low stored beliefs are possibly hindering you from manifesting or achieving the success you want, because they're actually weighing you down. Can you share a little bit about what beliefs would bring people to a higher vibration? So you mentioned you transform them. What does that look like?
yeah, so like from a release, one of my first releases I did with my higher self, I went from feeling like I had no power to be able to create the truth within the law of truth. So you can't fake a truth, it either is or isn't, which is why I'm being guided to say affirmations don't work. You're trying to trick your subconscious mind. You need to create a truth with the law of truth. Your higher self will help you. And I was able to create the truth. The truth is I am powerful, as an example. But I mean, I was releasing for 18 months, and just the amount of stuff I was releasing that I didn't even know that I had. And so all of those things, this is why most people don't reach the upper nuances of their manifestation potential, because, you know, I reached a ceiling because my higher self was like, right now you need to tackle the low stored vibration so that you can kind of truly become limitless. So if you think about manifestation requests, they need to be love labeled. If you've got fear labeled subconscious memories that are creating resistance, you can do the transitional vibrational work. But if you don't release the low stored vibration, that resistance is going to stay there. So I even had to, and this was someone that was a manifesting coach to an audience of quite a few thousand. I didn't realize I had subconscious fears around being seen and danger, and actually it linked into like really heavy low vibration that I didn't even know that I had stored in me. And also I am being guided to say, when you release all of your low stored vibration, if that's what you want to do, because everybody gets to choose what they want to do, I wanted to release every single % of it. Your body starts to regenerate and heal as well. You open up to your non-physical team and the broader multiverse. People awaken for that, or people awaken because they just don't want to feel fear anymore. They just want to freaking feel happy and love their physical life. So it's whatever anyone wants to take out of it. So if that sort of answers the question with a bit added on.
And if you all have questions or anything, put them in the chat box for us, please. This really resonates. I can go and I'm going to ask 2 more questions and we're going to jump into the exercise. I can go day to day. I live in this day to day, sometimes cycle of feeling elevated and feeling in a great place. And then I can read something or something happens outside of me and it knocks me down. What would you say is going on with me?
They are getting loads of energy from your higher self. Basically, that's a cue from her to release that. That's how the belief releasing process works. Something comes along and you have a reaction to it. It's about no longer pivoting away from it, which is what I used to do as a transitional vibrational queen. I was like, pivot away, ignore, but actually, okay, what are you trying to get me to release? Create new truths, release that low stored vibration, release the fear. This is the thing, as a manifesting coach originally, because I only changed the name to High Vibration Club about 2 or 3 months ago, so it's quite new. But as a manifesting coach before, it's all about holding your vibration. And you can't do that easily when you've got low stored vibration. Once you've released
That's
it all,
what people don't talk about.
Yeah, you can maintain your transitional, and guess what? Manifesting just slipstreams into your experience. It's like, rather than it just being the focus, which it was for me as a manifesting coach, it's now like, be high vibration, live a true high vibration life, which means being really high in your stored, if that's what you're wanting, and then have the manifestation slipstream in and just love your life. We get one physical life, like, love it.
Yes, and Kiri's relating to the comment that I just shared. So thank you, Kiri. And before we go into the process, describe it. Share us a little bit about the belief releasing process before the group will go through that with you.
Okay, so what we're about to do is I'm going to sort of take you through it. To manage expectations, it can take some practice to do your first release, but it's going to give you a bit of a warm up. And then I do have, which I know we're going to mention at the end, a 5-day free thing that's just on Facebook that can kind of help you if you want to delve into it more. But basically, when you're releasing, you do it with your higher self. And I didn't even know that I had a higher self 3 years ago. I used to believe in kind of following that gut instinct and trusting in those universal nudges. I had no idea it was my higher self. My higher self is called Sarah. It is a coincidence that our names are really similar. That's not normal. But basically what happens is your higher self highlights a low stored vibration to you. So we call it ramping it up so you can feel it. And then you ask them where it comes from. They flow you the memories and you stay with that until you reach an understanding with love. And then you create a new truth with love, and the associated low stored vibration leaves, and all of the memories around that theme relabeled to love, which is why it's so fast.
Okay. And Sarah is going to walk us through doing this, and I'm going to do it with everyone. And after this, we're going to go into breakouts and you'll share your experience. So you will talk to 1 or 2 other people in the group. And so what we're going to do is, you all are welcome to keep your video camera on or off and go through finding a low stored belief, something that's holding you back, something that's weighing you down. What we're going to do is walk through this process with Sarah to change that into love and a new truth, so that it's released and that you move up in your vibration. All right, Sarah, I'll take it away. Okay. I am going to turn my video camera off because that helps me get in the
Fine. Okay, so I know I've got 15 minutes approximately. So for anyone that's wanting to try this, and again, it's completely up to you. I'm not here to pressure or convince. I'm just here to share. So if you're wanting to have a go at this, we'll just start off. If you would like to close your eyes, because it probably helps you constant like feel things. What we're going to do is just quickly create a truth. The truth is my higher self is only ever loving, because sometimes people have subconscious fears around non-physical and their higher self as well. So your higher selves just wanted you to create that. And so just allow yourself to relax. So we're just going to energetically amplify from this end. So again, we're not zapping you, we're just amplifying. And if you want to receive the amplification, just set that intention and your higher self will share it with you via my higher self. So we're going to hold your vibration for you to help you with your receiving. And now just feeling relaxed, almost getting a sense of your bloodstream thickening and slowing down, if that feels comfortable to you. And your heart rate slowing down, and your body almost coming to a standstill with only your lungs breathing as you're moving as you're breathing in and out, in and out. And now just moving to your mind and just switching off your neurons, synapses and receptors. So your mind now also at a standstill, so your whole body at a standstill with just your lungs moving as you're breathing. And from this really balanced place, we're just sharing the law of balance with you as well. And again, you can just ask your higher self to amplify that, which I'm getting a couple of you, they're going to be doing that for you if you want that from them. You always have to ask with non-physical. So you're always totally loved and you choose what it is you want to do. And so if you're wanting to, now ask your higher self to come really close. And you may get a sense of their presence. They're always with you. You're always hyper connected to your higher self. You are their current physical incarnation. They can only have one physical incarnation at a time. So you are their only incarnation and all their focus is on you. They've been with you your whole life, loving you, never judging you. And this is why they help you release. And everyone feels their higher self a bit differently. So some of you may feel physical sensations like heat or warmth or tingling or a twitch or a tickle. Everyone's different. Some of you may just get a feeling, as in like a knowing that their energy is around you. Every way of receiving is perfect. It's just everyone's a bit different. You may see color or something else, or you may hear. So again, no one way of receiving is better than the other, but trust what you are being given now. And now, if you're wanting to, you can ask them to share their vibrational signature with you and notice what they share with you and trust. So again, you may feel, hear, see, or know. I'm just going to give it a moment, because I was so untuned to Sarah at the beginning, my higher self. I'd miss everything. I just wouldn't feel. I was just so used to ignoring what I was feeling. I used to dismiss goosebumps as an example, as just my body doing something. I didn't realize it was her. And just take a moment to feel this love from them. If this is the first time you've consciously connected to your higher self, they are freaking excited. This is momentous for you. Every higher self knows about the believe releasing process. Believe it or not, you would have trained and practiced this in non-physical before coming into physical, because we train in non-physical when preparing to come into physical. And again, I would never have thought I'd be sat here saying this 3 years ago. So again, just see if this feels true to you. And again, you'll feel the rightness of this if you allow it and it feels good to you. And so, and if you haven't felt anything, don't worry, it can take some practice. The first few times I did this, I kind of dismissed what I was experiencing. That's okay. There's free high self connection practices that I can send you after this. You've got loads of time. This is just like an initial experience and taster for you. Know they're with you. They're absolutely with you. And so now they're asking you to think of something that's been coming up for you that's felt low vibrational. And low vibration doesn't have to just mean fear. It can mean feeling a bit anxious, feeling a bit unsettled, or a bit grumpy. It could be anything, or a bit nervous. Anything that doesn't feel good basically is low stored vibration. So notice if there's something that's come up for you today, or if there's something that has been coming up for you repeatedly for a while. It might be a bit of a theme. It might be, I'm being given as an example, you might be a bit nervous going to check your emails as an example. It could be quite subtle or it could be quite big. It depends how tuned you are at this stage to noticing. So I'll just give you a second just to feel into that feeling. So it's important now not to think and just to feel. So with that feeling that you've been noticing, you've either noticed it today or it's been around for a while, or it could be something that's bothered you for years equally. Now the next step is, and your higher self is helping you to feel into that feeling and just pinpoint 2 or 3 of the emotions that are going on underneath that feeling. It's just helping you tune to that feeling. So under that low vibrational feeling, is there an emotion of fear or unsafety or anger? Like, it could be anything, like, and you obviously only need to share this with yourself. There's no judgment here. Your higher self loves you. It's not your fault you've had the physical journey that you've had and these experiences, but your higher self is so ready to help you release now. So with that feeling and drilling down a bit further and pinpointing 2 or 3 of the emotions, allow yourself to feel this feeling. Also just being guided to just clarify that no low stored vibration is too much for you to handle or release, because you've already survived whatever it was that created that low stored vibration in the first place. This is a loving process for you, and that this can be released as quickly as a few minutes or up to an hour. Something that's been with you your whole life can be gone really quickly. So even if you don't get there in this kind of quarter of an hour window, you can flow back to this afterwards. But what we're going to start doing now is get you receiving from your higher self and trust what you're receiving. So asking your higher self now, right, this exact feeling with these exact emotions that are going on, where else have I felt this in my physical experience? And trust what comes into your, almost like your mind's eye. They're going to start flowing to you. If you're balanced and allowing and not forcing or pushing, they're going to start drip feeding memories into your mind's eye. And allow this, because it is the ultimate love for you. And I released everything and helped so many people release. No release has ever been too much for anyone to handle. So just feel relaxed, feel safe, and you can stop if you want to, of course, but try and stay allowing, because this is ultimately going to set you free. So I'm going to go quiet for a minute now, because you might find they send you one memory and then they start flowing you others. And don't try and piece them together. Often with releasing, you get sent memories from all different parts of your life. You're not driving this, your higher self is doing this. They've got this bit, which is the hardest bit, which is to show you what it is you need, they're wanting you to see to release. Your job is just to allow. So I'm just going to go quiet for a couple of minutes and just notice what they're flowing to you. And if it goes a bit quiet, just stay with it and see what else comes in. But trust, and don't consciously think and work out where this has come from. Let them flow to you. And we're just holding your vibration. So all of your higher selves are trying to share something with you. Some of you may be in a flow where you're getting quite a few memories now. That's awesome. Just keep allowing. If you haven't received a memory yet, just stay allowing. And again, don't dismiss what comes into your mind. Trust, because I'm holding your vibration with your higher self. And some of you may be remembering things that you'd completely forgotten about. And just trust what you're receiving. This is the main thing to remember. Your higher self is working with you on this. This is a leading edge process. And when you're doing this on your own, after this webinar, if you're wanting to explore this further, know that some releases can be really quick, others can take up to an hour, which is why it's really important you don't rush it. But this is like a warm-up for you, helping you just to kind of feel that receiving from your higher self. You may even have felt like you've got to the crux of what they're flowing to you, and you may feel that you're ready to create a strong truth. And when you do get to that point and you're releasing those truths, when you create them, they're going to feel full of love, either for you or the other people in whatever it is, the memories that they're showing to you, or for all. And you're going to know when you're able to create truths, because you'll have a sudden realization. You'll hit a moment, and it could be quickly or it could take longer, where you're like, oh my God, that's where this all started from. And that's not the truth. The truth is X. And when you create a strong truth, you'll either feel it confirm in your truth vortex just below your tummy button, or you'll just feel the ease and relief. Every time I released over that 18 months, and it doesn't have to take you guys as long, but every time I did it, I'd feel so much relief. It was so cathartic every time I did a release. But just being guided to remind, this is like a taster. Probably most of you won't get to truth creation just in this short period, especially with me talking, but we're just kind of guiding you into it as a bit of a taster gently. Just seeing what else I'm being guided to share with you. I'm just being guided to be quiet for a moment, so I'm going to do that. And when you start releasing, you will be led to a core experience. So your higher self will likely show you lots of different memories, but you'll land on a core experience, and that's when you'll have that realization moment of like, oh my God, that's where this comes from. I get it now. And you'll be able to create those strong truths with love. Also, just being guided to share, I don't know whether it's come up for one or two of you, which is why I'm being guided to share it. You only need to release for your physical life, never for any of your higher selves previous physical incarnations, because that's often misunderstood. So with the belief releasing process, you only needing to focus on releasing, and your higher self is literally going to lead you through all of your releasing. If you decide you want to carry on with releasing, they're going to literally guide you to each release weekly, basically. So they're in the driving seat. You just need to be tuned to them and allowing of them. And that tuning can take a bit of time to start with as well. It's completely normal. So just being guided now to, you don't have to do anything special to disconnect or connect to your higher self. So you can just open your eyes when you feel ready. Your higher self is the easiest non-physical energy to connect to, because you're their physical extension. You two are hyper connected. So a lot of people, in my experience, can miss the higher self part. They may receive from other non-physical but not fully understand they have a higher self. Not always, but generally people that flow to me that have been working non-physical often don't understand the higher self bit. And actually when they start working that higher self relationship, everything else, even more so non-physical, opens up as well. So it was a bit of a taster. Some of you may have just got one or two things. Some of you may have got more of a stream. It really is going to be different for each of you. And also it really depends on how you're feeling now on this session. If you weren't feeling fully balanced, I could never release if I was kind of forcing. I had to be really balanced. And I talk more about that in my free 5-day video series. So hopefully that was a bit of a taster.
Wow, thank you. I'm going to share my experience, and then we're going to go into breakout. So if you are still available, if you're available to go on a breakout, please put your video camera on, or text me that you're available for it so that I know how to pair the breakouts, okay? Well, my higher self pushed me back. I'm sitting on my chair. She pushed me back, and I'm like really uncomfortable on my chair. And then I ended up lying on the floor. Anyone else? No, just me. All right. Well, I laid on the floor, and it had been a really quiet period in business. It's just a really quiet Q3. And I had this fear of lack and unworthiness that came up. And I was lying on the floor and my saliva got like softer. So I felt just like this calm happened. And it was interesting because my saliva changed. And you had said, bring up the low sword vibration, and then what memory is coming in. And I went all the way back to childhood.
Yeah.
And my dad worked, and my mom stayed at home with myself and my two sisters. We lived in the smallest house, 3 bedrooms with 1 bathroom, the 5 of us at a dead-end street. And my dad had started a business that had failed. We were on and off Social Security and on welfare. And we lived with a lot of day-to-day uncertainty about money. I had memories of sadness in my family, anger, shame, don't talk about it. Like all of this, I got tears, and it just all flooded up that any gap, any period of uncertainty was really bad. And I just stored all of this silence and fear. And then, so I released that. And then my higher self just asked me to look at my life. She said, can you just look in hindsight?
Yeah.
How you doing? And I was like, everything was fine. Everything was fine. I went to college. I have my career. I got a great family. Everything, a financial abundance is here. And I just got this big hit that like, I wish that I was younger and I knew you're always taken care of, even if there's this uncertainty. So I had a big release. I want to still process that, but I wanted to share with all of you my experience to ground us into going into breakouts. So Sarah, anything you want to share before we go into breakout?
Brilliant. And like a really powerful truth there is, because you've done that really quickly. My first release took me about, well, it did only probably take about half an hour, but I'm really impressed you got to that so quickly, because I may not have done. But the truth is, you're always looked after, or the truth is it's always okay. It's like that truth that you're like, oh, I feel the relief now. And once you've got that truth, you can call on it again and again and again. And I did, as a money manifesting coach, I did so much releasing around money. It was insane. I was like, I never even knew I had all of this low stored vibration around money. It linked me to fear of death even. It was so like, it's amazing what we can store, but that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And I want y'all to talk. So video camera on if you're interested to do a breakout, or just send me a brief chat that you're in if you don't want to have it on, okay? So we're going to go into breakouts for 3 minutes. And please just share anything that came up for you. Hold the space. So it's quick, but both talk a little bit, all right? So here we go. All right, everyone. And there's Sarah. Okay. I know it's never enough time. It's always just jumping in, and we always want a whole nother session just to chat. But I truly hope you're able to share a little bit about your experience. I want to close. First, thank you for joining. We're going to have classes all throughout the fall. So the next one is with me. I'm doing a solo class on October 19th, all around the power of choice. So we're going to take the belief releasing process, releasing those beliefs, and starting to channel that into choices. And how do we make choices that are empowering for us and others? I want to have Sarah just give you a bit of next steps in case you want to connect more with her in the work. So Sarah, take it away for the call to action from you.
Okay, so if anyone wants to find me, probably the best place to go is to my website, which is highvibrationclub.com. You'll see my Facebook link. I'm only on Facebook now. I deleted all my other social media channels. I needed to streamline. So you'll find me and a load of people over there. And if you have any questions, I do a live Q&A every Thursday morning on my Facebook page. I offer free 20-minute clarity calls. There's loads of stuff on my website. You'll see, if you want the free stuff, if you go to the video series link in the menu on my website, you'll see the first release focus week where you get the 5 videos helping you do your first release. There's also a higher self connection and discovery series, although when you click into it, it's just the one video, but it's quite long. So if you're kind of just wanting to, and you don't have to do any sign up or anything like that, it's just free content that's on my Facebook page, but the link on my website will take you through to it in the easiest way. But any questions, feel free to inbox me or email me or whatever it is. I'm just here. A lot of people don't need to work with a practitioner to release. They just crack on their own. But do know my door's always open. If you have any questions, please feel free to just ask.
Thank you so much. The follow-up email I'm sending to everyone will have the link to that 5-day focus course. That's probably why I released fast today, because I did my tune-up on that beforehand. So please watch for that. Sarah, thank you so much for your time and energy and walking us through and introducing this concept to other people. No matter where you all are on your inner growth and spiritual journey, you're on this call for a reason, and you were guided to be here today. And so I truly trust that you've got what you needed. And to anyone who is looking for continued support with myself, I really recommend you go to that October 19th course. You can also take my CEO of Your Life assessment. This has this domain on the mind, and I talk about beliefs. And you'll do a self-assessment about where you are right now in your inner growth journey. And anyone who takes that assessment, you could be entered to win a free 1-hour call with me, and we can go into beliefs, we can go into any of the other areas of your life to support you to create that next level of success in your vision. So you'll get a follow-up email to take the assessment from me, and I hope to see many of you on October 19th. And thank you, y'all, for your time and your energy, and everyone joining us here. I can't wait to see you soon. And here's to your continued awakening. Lots of love. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.